What's up, family? Gerald the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Let the King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, the Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.
What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. Back on the Bossman Show, going down to Albany, Georgia, Doherty County here with Patrick Gayle, Albany State Golden Rams basketball coach here with me out of SIAC Conference. Coach, how's life down there in the good 229, man?
Can't complain. Thank the Lord that we're here for another day, for another challenge.
Yes, sir. Coach, KB is going into your sixth season already, man. Can you believe it's been that long already for you, man?
I can't believe that. It's the time goes by fast.
Yes, indeed. And, I feel like being somewhere in this business, coach, you know how it is, man. That long is a good run because people want you to win so fast. You really get every application to want you to just win, or they want to change over and not let you build something. So this business, coach, 6 years, man, you're a 10 long tenure guy, man. Which it shouldn't be that way, but it is.
It's funny you say that. I mean, that's some of the things that coaches do think about, and I have a lot of good friends in the profession. So again, that's why I start out every day with giving thanks and Lord, what is your purpose for me today? Because if you worry about man and what people say, and trust me, there have been a lot of arrows sent my way, then you're not going to do what your purpose is. And I'm bigger than whatever this world has for me, in the natural sense. So my biggest thing is trying to get my guys prepared and ready for a long season. And we pray that it's a successful season. But when you got guys graduating and when you got guys, let me know, Coach, I really appreciate the things that you've told me. I'm experiencing those things. Then that's all that matters.
It's funny to say that, Coach Gayle, because I was talking about that in my previous interview with the coach I had on, because for me, I'm almost 40 years old. And the things that Coach told me 20 years ago, almost like now I've been almost 40, having a family, having, all this, having a girl, all these things is like, wow, Coach told me years ago, but now it all makes sense to me. I put the puzzle together now that I'm more advanced and experienced in my life now.
It's crazy, and my favorite line, and I tell my seniors this every year. So if you play for me, and there's been a lot of guys that have played for me, they'll say the line before I say it. The real world will teach you better than I can. All my job and my purpose, and it's from the first day I started coaching, is just to prepare you for this real world, because it's not fair. It's going to be some very long days, adverse days. So you have to be prepared for that. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I'm worried about, a scoreboard in a basketball game and not the scoreboard of life. So that's my purpose.
And Coach Gayle, do you feel like I went to Tennessee State? So I was transferring to Tennessee State. So been an HBCU school, helping a lot of young black men, having because we how it was in the world, helping rear them, guide us in the right direction. How much of that mission and vision for you, man, and your work and passion, helping young black men who look like you, who come from your background, who have shared experience you do, helping them see what's ahead of them after they leave Albany State and go into the real world.
I mean, that's the whole purpose. I mean, when I got the opportunity 5 years ago, even this week, 5 years ago, I started this week to come to Albany State. Before COVID, this was before the movement, for HBCUs. I was very, I was interested because it was a challenge, going to a place that I wasn't, coming from as far as what I'm used to, as far as, now you're leaving your comfort zone. It doesn't have, anytime you leave where you are, it's you're leaving your comfort zone. But the biggest thing was I felt really good about being at an HBCU because of what you just said, because of talking to young black males. And I think that, my experience, sometimes people say, well, I'm an HBCU alum, and that's great. But sometimes it's great to not have gone to an HBCU to see the opposite. And what I've seen, to kind of mentor and show, students of HBCUs, you know what? They're going to judge you. They're going to look down at you. I was in those rooms, but this is how you deal with it. And that encounter, you can actually get them to think the opposite. So now you have people, since I've been at Albany State, that wouldn't even know about HBCUs or Albany State, that are now like, wow, I'm, coach, I saw you guys, your football team, your baseball team, and man, Albany State, that ram head, man, that's everywhere. I said, that's right. So to me, when you can give exposure to your school, when you can give exposure to HBCUs in circles that aren't the HBCU realm, to me, that's even greater. So, talking to young men that's going to be in the real world, and the world is not an HBCU environment. The world is actually opposite. So we have to prepare them with that pride of going in and still showing that pride, but showing that pride in a way that you can actually get people to follow and support HBCUs, because there is not enough support for HBCUs. No matter what we did 2 years ago as far as the movement, it died. I'm in it. I'm in the trenches. It died. And then it didn't. And we think about financial when you think about support, but let's talk about at a level that's even higher. Let's talk about a bureaucratic level. Let's talk about, the legislative level. That's where we need the support. And I don't think enough people are speaking about it, and enough people are really understanding that they can kill you with the pen a lot quicker than they'll kill you with the sword.
Yes, and I can speak to Tennessee State. Tennessee's trying to take us over.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I don't want to say this is me saying, not Coach Gill saying it. Being in the South, certain states, certain political ideologies, we get the scraps. So I'm just gonna leave it at that.
You said I'm saying it, huh?
I'm not saying it. I'm saying it. Coach Gill, I'm saying this.
Hey, this is recorded. I started out with, we're not speaking about financial.
Yes.
We're talking about legislative. So the biggest thing I want people to do is, we can't just tell people to get registered and go vote. We got to tell people to get educated. Yes. And we got to tell people to read, newspapers, not just newspapers in your community. Read the international newspapers. They may tell a story even better than your local newspaper. Read the national newspapers. Understand what they're doing, and then play chess. Stop playing checkers. Think years ahead. That's what I tell my guys. I'm not trying to get you ready for the next 4 years. I'm trying to get you ready for the next 40 years. Yes. So when they're your age, they can say, okay, I knew this was coming. This is how I'm going to teach my children to be in this world. Because unfortunately, our forefathers, we shouldn't be going through the same problems and issues our forefathers did. But if you study the history of Albany, we kind of are.
My dad will be 84 years old, August 27th. So he marched Dr. King and those guys. So I got there first hearing stories of how it was and how the part of Atlanta where the arena is where I work at, that they couldn't cross some tracks after dark and he was growing up. So having my father, 84 years old, still with that firsthand knowledge to tell me about how it was and how it is, and it's amazing. I pass it along to my children, to those who I speak to. It's like I'm blessed to have my father still here with me to tell me these things. Like you're talking about Coach Gayle as well, and say how it is and how to keep fight going, keep pushing, using this platform I have for good. I've had as flash coach, I had show 14 years coach, and I own it myself. Nobody tells me what I can and cannot do, and that's so important. I can use this show to put out good content for our community and our people, and educate our people, and give them some breadcrumbs to go dip into and learn for themselves.
And that's awesome. That's why when you contacted me, how long did it take for me to respond?
Not very long. Because you knew. I got
doing what you're doing.
Yes, sir. And Coach Gayle, let me ask this, man, for you, man, and your young men, what are the plus of your program for your young men? When they want you recruiting a young man, wants to come to Albany State, become a Golden Ram, what are you looking for in a young man, and what's your culture about for those who are hearing about your story here for the first time on the show?
Well, the first thing is, and I'm gonna kind of keep it in simplified terms. You gotta be low maintenance. You gotta be self-motivated. You gotta love basketball. You have to want to understand that you are special, not because you play basketball, not because you're tall or whatever, or athletic or whatever you think, but because God made you. So what can you do with your talents at an Albany State that's going to leave a legacy? I talk a lot about legacy. What legacy are you going to leave? And it starts with winning. You said it. Nobody wants to talk to you unless you're winning. And if they want to talk to you and you're not winning, you better be careful. So it starts with winning. That's why winning's important. Winning's not important because everybody's trying to win. The winning's important so that you can have that platform. And then what are you going to do when you have that platform? When people are listening, what are you going to do with it? So I want young men that think ahead. I want young men that are self-motivated. I want young men that love basketball because that's how I know you. And people don't realize that you always will get an opportunity. It's, are you ready for it? So ultimately, I want young men that's ready for the opportunity.
And Coach Gayle, how is the transfer portal NIL world how did it change for you to get better high school players for your program? And folks that don't know about D2, you can actually split scholarships and get a whole roster and split the money around. You don't know that about the D2, but you can. But how has it allowed you to get better high school young men to come down and play for you with them not getting recruited as hard as they used to because of the transfer portal and how D1's going right now?
Correct. And we just talked about opportunity. It could be a detriment or it could be an opportunity. So, I just actually had a player, a returning senior, just strike an NIL deal. Got to play Albany Strikers. So, but again, that was something that he kind of took over. I kind of initiated the conversation, and then I threw the lob, and he 360 that thing through. So it helps when you find the right young men. If you see an opportunity in NIL, if you see an opportunity in the transfer portal and it being oversaturated with players, then you're going to take advantage. If you see it as a detriment and you're woe is me, it's going to happen. So what I've been able to do is, believe it or not, I've been able to get really high-level high school players. I've been able to get, obviously some D1 transfers. But the biggest thing is I've been able to get guys that are very, very much so humbled and just appreciative of the opportunity. And we want guys that want to take advantage of this opportunity because there are too many players in the transfer portal. So obviously guys are going to come down. And for HBCUs, it helps because with us, not having what, other schools may have, we can kind of be in a more of a playing field when it comes to certain type of players.
Yes, and it also helps with the budget too. I know, but since I said I understand the budget, I know how it is, budgetary things for recruiting wise, and
right.
Having to be able to actually pay for guys. You've been in state school too. It helps
right.
well being state school. You can actually pay for your guys not being private schools. So you have that advantage over Clark or Morehouse in that regard. So I feel like you're in a good spot to find guys to come play. You can draw a circle around Albany, go 2 or 3 hours and find what you want. And it's good because being around somebody like yourself is going to help a young man set them up after basketball. And that's my thing, Coach Gayle. If you can play, they'll find you. So
Correct.
you go to a high major school, you come off the bench, not really playing, and so you're losing money. So I'm saying to Albany State or play at Tennessee State and show what I can do. It's going to make me more money in Europe or in Asia or G League or the NBA. But if you sit on the bench not playing, you're not putting good film out there. So when you take that quick check, sometimes it hurts you on the back end.
That's right. That's right. You're very well educated. It looks like you've had some certain experiences in your life that you could preach on, not just speak on, you could preach on.
Oh, yes, I have. And Coach, I will tell you this. I've been asked to bring my show to certain platforms. I would have to give up who I am. And I
Stay
can't do
who
that.
you are. Yes, sir. Stay who you are.
I can't give up.
And it's funny you say that. That's so important because I try to tell my guys the same thing. You got to be authentic. You got to be who you are. Now, with that said, I'm sure certain people don't like you because of that, or some
100%.
people feel like you're making a mistake. But that's why. See, we when we are like-minded and we be around like-minded people, conversations like this can happen. So you're actually helping me by what you just said. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you being authentic and who you are.
Yeah, because I tell people I can't code switch. This is who I have one switch. This is JR. I can't code switch. I have one switch. This is me. Either you like me or you don't.
And that's the thing. We can still work together if you don't like me. Heck, we can still like the same things if you don't like me. But the Lord did not put me on this earth to find any friends. You can understand that, and that's how I live my life. The one thing I'm not worried about is trying to find friends.
Yes, and you know what, Coach? I feel like this. The Lord knows that I am a very jovial person. I'm who I am. I'm authentic and I'm real. And you don't like me, something wrong with you. Because I don't.
That was JR saying that. What I said was, it ain't gonna bother me, but be who you are.
But it don't bother me. I laugh at it. I laugh about it. It's funny. But I'll say, you can make so much more money, JR. But I say that I won't be happy making your money because
that's right.
I have to give up who I am. Like I'll give you an example, Coach. If I would have you on my show and I work somewhere else, I would have to ask somebody.
Wow.
I ask myself.
That's right. Hey. All the things came from you. There was no middleman, and that's the thing. And JR, to be in all seriousness, I have to definitely support people like you because I respect what I'm trying to do is get my young men to do what you're doing. Everybody has their own platform. Everybody has their own talents and gifts. Don't try to be like someone else. Be who you are because that didn't come from you. That's from up above. So what you're doing, your personality, like you said, everything about you, that didn't just come from you or your parents. That came from up above. So you got to be who you are. And what I'm learning is that when you're not doing that, that's actually a sin that they don't talk about. That's actually going against who you are. There's a reason why you get sick when you try to do something or be something you're not, or be in circles that you're not supposed to be. So I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, Coach, I'll tell you what. And Coach, so I told you all there, my girl's from Albany. So if you come talk to your team, I'll do it when I'm in town with her.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, that's on air. So I expect you to be there. You're going to take pictures and all. I expect you to be there, JR. Absolutely.
Oh, I'll do that. I love talking to young men and giving them some nuggets because I'll tell you what, I've learned through trial and error, Coach. I started off doing the 2 a.m. show, Coach.
Wow.
It was me, the deer, and the truckers, okay? 6 a.m.
Hey, I got a good friend that's a trucker, man, and he drives back and forth from Atlanta all the way down to South Florida. Sometimes he'll even go past Atlanta all the way up to New Jersey. So, hey, man, the truckers, they need something like this. So that's real good that you started that way.
Yeah, that I went from then I did the Quiet Storm. 10 to 2. Okay. Then I went the weekend.
Well, it wasn't truckers listening to that.
No. Then I went the weekend. So then I went to full self syndication. I got
That's
45
awesome.
station coach, 45 on my
Yeah,
arm.
I was reading up on you, man. I was like, wow. I was like that. I listen, I'm humbled and I'm blessed that you even thought about me. And if it's because I was a HBCU coach in Georgia, I'm humbled to be an HBCU coach in Georgia. Whatever got us connected, I
Yes.
appreciate it.
Well, my thing is I want to help out black coaches, HBCU. I'm an HBCU grad myself, so I have another show called the BCC, Black Coaches Corner. I have you on that show too. So this is what I do, man. I help our people. I'm for our people, and I don't care about it. I'm not against anybody, but I'm for my people. It shouldn't be JR as a radical because I'm for my people.
Right.
I think you would assume you're pro what you are. That should be assumed.
Absolutely.
It
Absolutely.
should not be a
Absolutely.
stigma that I'm pro what I am, but it is
Absolutely.
in this field. Sometimes it's funny. You would believe it. I've been called off the air and on the air by some other people because I'm pro what I am.
Right.
That's a problem.
Well, Jr. We wouldn't have, and that's another thing I've learned. When you have that, that means you're doing what you're supposed to, and the more amplified it is, the more that you're doing, the more that you're reaching a lot of people. So it comes with when you're blessed and when you're anointed, it comes with that. So I'm sure you just brush it off.
I do. I laugh at it. You know what's funny? People are upset because I don't have any staff. Really,
They're
I'm the
upset.
staff.
Well, now let me understand this. They want to be a part of your staff, or they just like, man, you need to have a staff.
They're like, how's he doing this all by himself? Pretty much.
Well, tell them it ain't by yourself. Tell them there's a greater power pushing you.
I told him it's me, God, and my ancestors. That's what I say.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
me, God, and my ancestors,
That's a great answer.
I listen to my mother and my father.
That's
But
right.
pretty much, it's the ancestors, God, and myself making decisions to make this thing the way it is. And I feel like this, Coach Gayle, every tough decision I've made has been the right one.
That's right.
I've had to pray on it and actually just had stick in my gut. It's always been the right decision when I made the decision.
Well, here's the thing, JR. I mean, that's why you have to go talk to other people because we have, and you said you're 40, correct? If I heard that
Almost.
correct? Almost 40.
Yes.
So we have some young people that are almost 20, or almost 24, and they're going through some of the same things you went through, and they're not seeing that light. Something allowed you to keep walking that path. They're not seeing that light because it's dark, and they just need something. And even a voice. Yes, you're on the right path. So what you're saying right now, that's that voice that they can keep walking that path. So that's why you're important. If no one ever tells you, Coach Gayle is telling you, you have to keep doing what you're doing because that voice, you may think, that you have these stations for people like me, but it's for you. It's for you that's at Hampton or at an Albany State or a Tennessee State that needs to say, you know what, I am on the right path. Because there's so many other voices telling them, you ain't going the right way. You ain't doing the right thing. Just think about it. Somebody told you need to have staff. I mean, instead of supporting you, they're telling you the negative. And so you can imagine what
I was told I'm not a real business. Somebody who's prominent, I won't say their name, I'll say off there, told me privately, you're not a real business. It's just you.
And that's sad. And I'm willing to bet that is somebody with your similar background and similar features, if you know what I mean.
Yes, and they're very prominent. I won't say their name.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
But yes, they and I'll tell you this: there's been those who look like me in our field who refuse to give me any advice or help me.
That's
and Coach. I don't say this braggadociously. I have not gotten help from people.
Right.
I've had to learn through my own trials and errors. I have not gotten any guidance because when I was trying to get started, those calls I would make to people, I can't do it or couldn't do the rain check. When I was trying to get advice from people who were established.
Well, until we figure out that part, until we understand that when you climb a mountain, it's not you just going up that mountain. You going over people that have pushed you and elevated you. But when you get to that peak, there's also the same people you're going to see on the way down. And people need to understand if we all get up there and there's room for us all, It will all be good, but it's going to take us working together. Throw that rope back over. And it's sad. And I won't go into detail, but just know that I know exactly what you're going through. I know exactly sometimes the nights you've had, but that's why I'm saying this as more than just me. It's coming through me. The Lord is definitely what got me through, especially this past couple of seasons. And it's funny because you begin to doubt yourself just because you're like, man, I know this is how to do things, but Lord, what's going on? And all it was that I've realized, come closer to me. Get away from that, come closer to me. And that's what I'm doing. So, JR, I give you the same advice. Keep doing what you're doing. Just come closer to your creator.
And I will do that, Coach Gayle, and I thank you for that word again. We'll close on that word. That's a word to close the interview. With that word from the Lord through Coach Gayle, he is the benediction.
JR, you're a funny guy, man. You're a funny guy.
Hey, Coach, I enjoyed this, man, and I promise you, so my girls from Albany, I'll be down there to see you and your team, and when I'm in town, I'll get your number off the air here shortly, and I'll talk to your team and give them some nuggets I have, man, so they can see someone like me, a little older than them, but they can see that I've been in their shoes,
well,
and look where I am today.
Please do. You got to. I've enjoyed it, and I would love, and I'd be honored, and I'll take you to lunch, wherever you want to go, and we could just break bread and just continue to talk.
Sounds good, Coach. It was fun, man.
Same here. Take care, JR.
All right. What's up, good people? BetOnline is your number one source for all your betting needs. The latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use your promo code BELIEVE, BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. BetOnline, where the game starts. What's up, family? Jared the Bossman here. You're tuned into the Bossman Show on AM 1010, AM 1430, 1055 The King. Check The King out at 105theking.com and the Bossman Show at bossmanshow.com. Hit me up on Instagram, The Bossman Show, Twitter at Bossman Show, and Facebook, Bossman Show. It's the Bossman on your radio.
Listen to the Bossman Show with your host, JR, Saturdays at 9 a.m. right here on AM 1010, The King.